The Redskins made a move, traded for Alex Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. He was 50-26 as a starter for the Chiefs. 19-5-1 in San Francisco before that. And join us right now to give us his take on the Redskins trade for Alex Smith is our pal Charley Casserly, former Redskins and Texans GM. Now you can watch him on NBC Sports Washington and the NFL Network. Good morning, Charlie.
Good morning. How about that for some news last night?
Oh, my gosh. Incredible.
Well, we knew they had to do something.
Were you awake when it
They decided that they were not going to go agency without a quarterback contract, not counting Colt McCoy. And so my initial reaction is they couldn't get a deal with Cousins, which I don't know that, okay, and that they decided to be proactive instead of sitting and waiting, and that's the thing you have to do in this situation.
Well, give us your take on what you see in Alex Smith as a player right now and how he fits onto the Redskins. Is it an upgrade, a downgrade? Are they breaking even at quarterback?
Yeah, I think it's a more break-even situation. If you look at the careers, I would have, if I could have got Cousins for the deal they got Smith, I would take Cousins because he's younger, and you know him, and he's been in the system, and he's been with you. Okay, but let me answer your question. They're kind of similar in this. I think they're best in a quick rhythm passing game, which is what the Redskins have, and Smith can do all the things Cousins can do there. Smith is better outside the pocket. In fact, he's outstanding outside the pocket, creating and making plays. So. He's very dangerous there. On the deep ball, historically, he has not been great at it. This year, I think he has a phenomenal – he might be the best in the league. He went through a period during the whole team did where they kind of got on a funk. They switched coordinators. Matt Nagy came in. He went to a spread offense to run the ball. That got the running game going, and they went back to being more aggressive with Smith. What Smith did better this year was being aggressive downfield. And he has some excellent downfield receiver. Had some in Kansas City. Hill being one of them. He had big speed there, but he took advantage of it. So, off last year, Smith was better. Historically, they're about the same. I can't talk about leadership. That part of it there, and getting along with teammates. And I've never heard any negative things about Smith in that area.
Reports are that Smith gets a 4-year, $94 million extension, $71 million guaranteed. That basically sets the bar now for Kirk hitting unrestricted free agency. What sort of numbers do you envision him getting, and who do you think are the top 2 or 3 teams right now that are trying to chase down Kirk Cousins and get him to sign with them?
One thing on that deal, the way to look at that, that's a 3-year guaranteed deal. If the guaranteed money is $71 million. So,
okay.
Anyway, here's the thing. You can say a bar is set, but the bar is going to be set by the teams. All this is a number of feet they can throw out. So in looking at it, the thing you're fighting here, if you're Cousins, is the draft. Because there's 4 quarterbacks that are worth taking in the first half of the draft, and that's why the Redskins had to make a move. Arizona needs a quarterback, but they're picking 15. So you would think they'd want to be aggressive here. Buffalo is picking 21. You think they'd want to be aggressive here. They have 2 ones, but that's not going to get them a quarterback. Cleveland has the option, 2 picks in the top 4, so they can take one of those young quarterbacks, or they take Cousins, a known commodity, and build a team and go. Denver is picking 5. They just went through a young quarterback, and that didn't work. Do they do this again, or do they take the known commodity? Now, again, it's going to be expensive for them. Can they do that? The Jets, they're picking 6. They're kind of on the edge. There's no guarantee they get one of those 4 guys. They have plenty of cap room. If they get Cousins, then all of a sudden they, can do something else in the draft. And even though Cousins has no relationship with the Jets, their new coordinator, Jeremy Bates, is a Shanahan disciple. And we know Mike Shanahan is a big fan of Kirk Cousins, and certainly Kirk Cousins is going to, in my opinion, will lean on Shanahan for some advice in this situation. So there could be a connection there.
Charlie,
I don't count the Giants in this at all.
Right.
So.
Charlie, one of the other pieces in this trade was Kendall Fuller. Now, Kendall Fuller, according to NFL 1000, run by Doug Farrar, former NFL scout, was the #1 slot defender in the league based on his performance. Kendall Fuller could have been a #2 corner this year if Breeland walks. Ultimately, who knows? He might even be a #1 corner. So what are your thoughts on losing Kendall Fuller as part of this deal as well?
Yeah, I'm going to ignore any of those stat things, okay? And I'm not against those people. going to ignore them. He's a good prospect, a starter. He got a lot better this year. I think part of it was being more healthy. I think part of it was coaching. His technique improved. I would expect him to be a corner opposite Josh Norman. I think Fabian Moreau coming out of college was a better prospect, so there's a better upside to him. Now, whether he develops, we don't know. But you have somebody in the bank there to work with. And Dunbar got better this year. So, again, you lost a good player. All right, but you have to say to yourself, okay, do we go into free agency without a quarterback, or do we give up a third and Kendall Fuller? You have to give up the third and give up Kendall Fuller to get the quarterback position solved. Otherwise, you have a bigger mess, okay, if that's not done.